Good evening. Welcome to Election Night 2020. Tonight we have the incumbent president, Donald Trump, running against Joe Manchin, the senator from West Virginia who got elected by a large margin in 2018, running for the next president of the United States. It is now time for the 7 p.m. poll closings. Kentucky, South Carolina, Georgia, Indiana, Vermont, and Virginia. Out of the state of Vermont, Joe Manchin is the projected winner of their 3 electoral votes. Out of the state of Virginia, 0% of precincts reporting, but we have enough information from prior election polling to call this state for Joe Manchin a Clinton state from 2016, 13 electoral votes. Out of the state of South Carolina, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 9 electoral votes. With 1% of precincts reporting, we have enough information to call the state for President Trump. Out of the state of Indiana, it is too early to call. Donald Trump has a lead of 10%, with 15% of precincts reporting. Out of the state of Kentucky, it is too close to call. Joe Manchin has a 2% lead. He was campaigning here in the final 2 weeks of the election. And out of the state of Georgia, it is too close to call. Joe Manchin has a lead of around 100 votes, with 17% of precincts reporting. This is a statistical tie, 50-50. And on the current electoral map, Joe Manchin is ahead at 16 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 9. It is now 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time in the states of West Virginia, Ohio, and North Carolina. All their polls have closed. Out of the state of Ohio, it is too close to call. Joe Manchin has a lead with Democratic counties reporting. Out of the state of West Virginia, Joe Manchin is behind. This is his home state with 26% reporting. Donald Trump leads by 1%. Out of the state of North Carolina, it is too close to call. Donald Trump has a lead of 2%. And on the current electoral map, no change here. Joe Manchin still at 3 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 9. It is now time for the 8 p.m. poll closings. All the states on the left, their polls have closed. Out of the state of New Hampshire, Joe Manchin is the projected winner of their 4 electoral votes. Out of the state of Maine, all 4 of their electoral votes are now projected to go to Joe Manchin. Out of the state of Illinois, 20 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. Out of the state of Maryland, the most Democratic state in the Union, 10 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. Out of the state of Connecticut, another 7 electoral votes add to Joe Manchin's column tonight. He is also the projected winner. Out of the state of Delaware, 3 electoral votes. Out of the state of Rhode Island, 4 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. Out of the state of Massachusetts, 11 electoral votes will land in Joe Manchin's column tonight. Out of the state of New Jersey, 14 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. And out of the District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. And out of the state of Pennsylvania, a flip from 2016, a very early call. He was polling in double digits here, taking part of the Republican vote. Our exit poll data shows us as well. We have enough information to call the state of Pennsylvania and has flipped from the Republican column. 20 electoral votes goes to Joe Manchin. And out of the state of Mississippi, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 6 electoral votes. Out of the state of Alabama, Donald Trump will carry their 9 electoral votes. Out of the state of Oklahoma, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 7 electoral votes. And out of the state of Missouri, it is too close to call. Donald Trump has a 4% lead. Out of the state of Tennessee, it is too close to call. Donald Trump has a 12% lead. Out of the state of Florida, it is too close to call. The most hotly contested swing state of tonight, 29 electoral votes. On the current electoral map, Joe Manchin is ahead at 116 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 31. It is now time for the 8:30 p.m. poll closings from the states of Arkansas. The state of Arkansas will go to President Trump, 19% of precincts reporting. We have enough information to call this for President Trump. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump is at 37 electoral votes to Joe Manchin's 116. It is now 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have a huge new batch of poll closings. All the states in yellow on your screen now, their polls have closed. Out of the state of Texas, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 38 electoral votes. Out of the state of Kansas, Donald Trump will carry their 6 electoral votes. Out of the state of Nebraska, all 5 of their electoral votes will go to President Trump. Out of the state of Wyoming, 3 electoral votes will go to President Trump. Out of the state of Louisiana, 8 electoral votes lands in the Trump column tonight. And out of the state of Arizona, a earlier call than 2016, Joe Manchin not doing as well as Hillary Clinton did with the Latino vote in the state of Arizona in particular. 11 electoral votes will land in the Trump column tonight. And now the state of Tennessee, previously too close to call, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 11 electoral votes. Now the state of New York, Joe Manchin is the projected winner of their 29 electoral votes. Out of the state of New Mexico, 5 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. And out of the state of Minnesota, 10 electoral votes will land in the Manchin column tonight. Out of the state of Colorado, 9 electoral votes, a much earlier call than in 2016. Joe Manchin, the projected winner. And out of the state of Wisconsin, it is too close to call. Joe Manchin has a 1% lead. Out of the state of Michigan, it is also too close to call. Donald Trump has a slim lead. Out of the state of North Dakota, it is too close to call. Heidi Heitkamp was campaigning hard for Joe Manchin in the state. 3 electoral votes, too close to call. Out of the state of South Dakota, it is too close to call. Donald Trump has a lead of 8%. And on the current electoral map, Joe Manchin still leads at 169 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 119. It is now time for the 10 p.m. poll closings. Montana, Iowa, Nevada, and Utah. Out of the state of Utah, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 6 electoral votes. Out of the state of Indiana, 11 electoral votes, a very late call for a state that has the vice president's home state, 11 electoral votes. Out of the state of Iowa, it is too close to call. Joe Manchin has a lead of 2%. Out of the state of Montana, it is too close to call. Donald Trump narrowly leads. Out of the state of Nevada, it is also too close to call. Joe Manchin leads by 4%. And on the current electoral map, Donald Trump making ground with 144 electoral votes to Joe Manchin's 169. It is now time for the 11 p.m. poll closings. Out of the state of Idaho, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 4 electoral votes. Out of the state of California, the biggest prize in the union will go to Joe Manchin. Out of the state of Washington, 12 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. Out of the state of Oregon, 7 electoral votes will land in the Manchin column tonight. Out of the state of Hawaii, 4 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. And out of the state of Nevada, an earlier call than in 2016, 6 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. And on the current electoral map, Manchin is ahead at 247 electoral votes, passing Hillary Clinton's number, while Donald Trump is behind at 148. We can now make state calls at 12:10 a.m. from the states of Missouri, Georgia, and Michigan. Out of the state of Michigan, Joe Manchin is the projected winner of their 16 electoral votes, a flip from 2016. The state of Missouri, 10 electoral votes will land in the Trump column tonight, decided by less than 2%. Out of the state of Georgia, also closer than in 2016, 16 electoral votes will land in the Trump column tonight. And on the current electoral map, Joe Manchin is now at 263 electoral votes, 7 away from being elected President of the United States, while Donald Trump is behind at 174. We can now make state calls out of the states of West Virginia and South Dakota, while we have the Alaska 1 a.m. poll closings. Out of the state of Alaska, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 3 electoral votes. Out of the state of South Dakota, Donald Trump will narrowly carry their 3 electoral votes. And out of the state of West Virginia, Joe Manchin's home state with 97% reporting, we have a comfortable margin of around 20,000 votes. Joe Manchin, the projected winner. And on the current electoral map, Joe Manchin is 2 electoral votes away from being elected president at 268 to Donald Trump's 180. We can now make state calls at 1:45 a.m. Eastern Time from the states of North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Nevada. Ladies and gentlemen, wait for me to announce history. Out of the state of North Carolina, Joe Manchin is the projected winner of their 15 electoral votes. Out of the state of Wisconsin, their 10 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. Out of the state of Nevada, their 6 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. And on the current electoral map, Joe Manchin has well surpassed the 270 needed to win with 299 electoral votes, which means Joe Manchin will be elected President of the United States. Joe Manchin will be the 46th President of the United States. He will win the presidency with 299 electoral votes at our current calling. Joe Manchin, now President-elect Manchin, will go on to be the next President of the United States. We can now make state calls at 2:10 a.m. Eastern Time from the states of Montana, North Dakota, Ohio, and Iowa. Out of the state of North Dakota, Donald Trump is the projected winner of their 3 electoral votes. Heidi Heitkamp had a significant effect on the state, however it lands in the Trump column again. Out of the state of Montana, Joe Manchin is the projected winner. Remember, Jon Tester campaigning hard for him as well as Heidi Heitkamp. Heidi Heitkamp had no effect, but Jon Tester definitely had a lasting effect on the Trump campaign. Here in the state of Montana, 3 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. And out of the state of Ohio, 18 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin in a flip from 2016. Another flip from 2016, the state of Iowa. Joe Manchin did extraordinary in the primary here. 6 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin. And on the current electoral map, Joe Manchin leads at 326 electoral votes, well surpassed the 270 needed to win, while Donald Trump is behind at 183. We can now make a final state call from the state of Florida, and the state of Florida will go to Joe Manchin in a decisive victory by around 10,000 votes. 29 electoral votes will go to Joe Manchin, and on the final electoral map, Manchin has 355 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 183. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you want to contact me personally on social media, vote in polls, and make suggestions for future election nights, follow me on Twitter at LTE Updates. My Patreon is patreon.com/LTE, be sure to go check that out. Upcoming, I have viewer suggestions. This was a suggestion from US Election Atlas. which is a platform that I am on where you can suggest things as well there, and comment notification squad if you're early in my videos. As for my previous videos, watch my most recent election night on the left, subscribe in the center, and watch my most popular election night on the right. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.